There are people out there that are missing something. They know that there is something missing from their life. They feel empty. They feel a void. They feel all this stuff. They feel the loneliness, and they feel all this stuff, and they don't know what it is. So they do things with sex, drugs, alcohol, all this stuff, and they're like, they're trying to feel something they can never feel, that not even a man can feel, not even a woman can feel, not even this world can feel. And even with money, all this kind of stuff or whatever. And at the end of the night, when they go home and they're by themselves, all they can feel is this loneliness, this emptiness, this void. You know what I'm saying? A place of darkness, this pit. You know what I'm saying? And they wonder, like, what is missing? What is missing? Like, why do I feel this way? Why do I constantly feel empty when I'm around a whole bunch of people, and everybody's having a good time, but I'm not. And or if I do, I have to pretend to have a good time. You know what I'm saying? Or I gotta drink myself to death. You know what I'm saying? Or I gotta do all that. You know what I'm saying? Just to have a good time. Like, why do I feel this emptiness? And I'm gonna tell you why you do. Because there's something in this world that you are looking for. A lot of times you're looking for truth. A lot of times people are looking for truth. And then no matter what you try to find that truth in, whether it be in drinking, alcohol, sex, drugs, you know what I'm saying, money, all that kind of stuff. So when you try to, there's an emptiness, there's a void. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing there. So you like, what is it? Like, why do I keep feeling this way? Why am I like, what is wrong with me? The thing is, there is something missing, and it's missing. It's here. I realized it, and I knew, and it came to the point after all that time I was running. I realized that void that I was missing was the Lord. I felt like my heart had been shattered into 1,000 pieces, and the only person that can put me back together again, and I knew that missing pieces, and not a piece, but the pieces in my heart was the Lord. But the thing is, I didn't know how to get to him. I did not know anything. I did not know how to come back to him, how to find my way back to him. And I knew it was him, that he was missing. He was the piece that was missing my life, because I've tried everything else. I tried everything. I even tried to go to other religions, and it was like nothing, like, nothing, like, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it didn't take me long in other things. You know what I'm saying? I would look at it for a little bit, just read about it, and I'm like, it fell off. And so I would stop. And then I would like go this, that, whatever. And then it all led me back to Christ. It all did. And it led me back to him. And he was the only one that I would feel. I'm gonna put it like that, that I could feel, that I felt, and that I knew was real. That he was alive. He wasn't dead. He is alive now. That he is a being. He's a, you know what I'm saying? And that's what people don't understand, that there's a difference. And not to mention that I was being looked over my entire life. Like, a lot of things had started like coming to me, and I started realizing things. Even now, even the things, when I start remembering, having memories of things, I remember to where the Lord has always really been with me, but I just didn't know it was him. I had no clue it was him, because from one, I was never told. And I didn't know. I didn't know, and so there's a lot of things that I'm being shown, you know what I'm saying, all this stuff, because when my memory got taken away, the enemy wanted me to think that I was evil, that I come from an evil spawn, that I was of Satan. And not to mention, I got told that a lot, you know what I'm saying, and that everything that was happening with me, and all in the stuff about, all that kind of stuff, that it was from the enemy. But in fact, it wasn't. It was actually from God, and the enemy would just want to try to trick me and to pull me over to his kingdom. But I was fighting again. I would not, because I wouldn't believe what the enemy was saying, because the enemy wanted to use me just like he wanted to use a lot of other people. And it's with revenge, because the enemy will go to people about different things. And to me, he came to me about revenge. He wanted to use me and work through me for revenge upon the enemies that had came up and rose against me. So that's why you got to be careful, because the enemy does come to people in different ways. It does not come to everybody the same, because everybody is different. Everybody, there are people out there for money, you know what I'm saying? Relationships, love, all that kind of stuff. But the enemy, the one thing people don't talk about is revenge. And one thing you should know is that vengeance is the Lord. The enemy will come again, come to certain people, and people will know I'm talking about this because the enemy will come for you when it knows that you have been done wrong in a lot of things. And you feel like you haven't got justice. You haven't received justice. You have like all this stuff happening to you, and even though it's coming from the enemy, okay, and in the enemy's camp, but he will come to you and try to do a bargain per se and try to get you over to his kingdom to use you in the very kingdom that was sent against you. See, I find that hilarious. See, I don't find that funny, and that pisses me off when it comes to the demonic kingdom. That's the difference between me and everybody else. See, I don't find that entertaining. That pisses me off because do you think I'm going to join an institution, an entity that has risen up against me my whole life and tried to destroy me and kill me, and now you want me on your side? No. It's no. Why? So you can take me out at any time you want to, even on your side? I don't think so. Because for one, there's no loyalty over there. No. And not to mention, I haven't forgotten what you have done. Not only to me, but to billions of other people, trillions since the beginning of time. And my mind just said, boom, blows up. Oh, not only me. I think about everybody what you have done to. Now I'm really pissed. Because you have the audacity to come to somebody like me thinking that I'm going to give you my loyalty, my life, but you tried to destroy my life. You tried to destroy it, and you sent people after me to destroy me. Yeah, I am one in a million. And I know that because why my mind is different. I think different. And that's why the enemy tried to destroy my mind and destroy my voice, because that's the way how the enemy is. The enemy tries to destroy the very thing that he know that you are, that God can use you in. I see and I know, and there is no way in heck I'm going to allow the enemy, just like I didn't then, to use me for his kingdom. And there are people out there when they will hear this know exactly what I'm talking about. The enemy has come after you because, for one, it knows that you have gifts, you have talents, and everything that God has given you. But it wants to use the tragedy, the things that has happened in your life, to go to join its side, to take vengeance upon those that has caused havoc in your life. I'm gonna put it like this: the choice is up to you. You didn't already made the choice, by the way. But if you do it, you got to understand there are consequences that comes along with those actions, because you are going into a version, into a institution that is tainted, that is demonic, that is of that of another system, of another energy. So with that being said, do you think they're going to be loyal to you? Do you think that they're going to keep your word to you? Do they think after everything, and not to mention, you got to keep in mind a lot of things that happened to you was because of the enemy. It was because of the enemy. I'm not talking about the things that you could help. I'm talking about the things that you couldn't help. There's a difference. Because there are things in people's life you don't have control over. No matter what people say, you could take accountability and responsibility for everything, like I told people, but I will not take responsibility for what somebody else has done to me. I am not going to do that. You only take responsibility for the things that you have done, but never take responsibility or actions, which would be blaming yourself for what somebody else has done. And a lot of that is from the enemy. And it is from the enemy because why? It is pure evil. And I'm not talking about little things. I'm talking about big things. Don't take it upon yourself to get even with those who have came across you. Do not take it upon yourself to take back things. You know what I'm saying? Go to God. And I know it may sound cliche or whatever. I'm not saying this is easy, because it's not, because there were times when I wanted to come out of my flesh to do things because that's what I was used to doing. And there were times I had to be quiet when I wanted to speak. There are times when I wanted to do things when God wouldn't tell me not to do it. You see what I'm saying? And even though I am used to speaking like blah, 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 like burning stuff out, even when people rise up against me, I had to shut up during a season of time when God told me to be quiet. I had to. Now the choice is yours. If you don't want to shut up during that season, that's on you. Consequences, action, all that, everything is on you. That's why I'm telling you to go to God about certain things, about all this stuff. And you pray for people. Just because they pray upon you, P-R-E-Y, upon you, does not mean you pray upon them. You pray, P-R-A-Y, for them. And hand them over to God. And let it be. Hand them over. And tell the Lord you handing them over to Him. But you're going to pray for them. And me personally, I do that as a last resort because, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know. I'm just not so quick to be handing people over to God. You know, that's just me because I see a lot of people don't believe God is real. I know He's real. And if people don't turn over, if they don't stop what they're doing, people don't understand. People life, especially, you know what I'm saying? People don't even understand that. Their life could stop, you know? So I'm just saying, I'm just not so quick to be like, God, I'm loosing you on them. No, I'm like, God, I'm going to pray for these people. And I'm praying that you would send somebody to help them and to guide them. That's what I do until the Lord tells me to turn them over to Him. Now, if the Lord tells me I have no choice, I have to. Because by me praying for them and all that, God has to work on them now. God has to work on them. I see so much in this world. I see so much hurt. I see so much pain. And to me, it's like the people that is causing the pain, they don't care what they do.